The Prime Initiative.
Have you ever read anything so utterly ridiculous that you just can't help but reread it just for a good laugh, right? Now, growing up in the '80s, I used to ride my in downtown Los Angeles. I used to ride my bike to the nearest supermarket. Hi, Lilu. Nearest supermarket to read all the game magazines like Game Pro magazine, EGM magazines, and the tabloids. Tabloids were nothing but entertainment and fun, like this one: Bat Child found in cave. I mean, this guy, I used to read this thing for years. This guy's found all over the place. I think he even got an alien pregnant one day. You know, I'm pretty sure this kid's already died of old age. To be honest with you, the way I view it. Lilo, calm down. Which brings me to the next utter ridiculousness to read. Let's pull that up here. This email from Robert E. Luna. All right. Now, I'm gonna read this verbatim just so you guys can have an understanding, and it'll be posted up on YouTube and IGN and all that awesome stuff. But let's get into it. This is obviously referring to the federal jury conviction of Deputy Trevor Kirk. Okay, dear colleagues, I'm writing to you regarding a recent federal jury verdict involving a Lancaster Station deputy and to address the concerns expressed by some department personnel, not some, all. Concerns expressed by some department personnel and stakeholders. Why would you put that? I recognize that having one of our employees convicted by a federal jury is a significant matter. Yeah, you rat fuck, of course it is. No one in our department what? Listen to this. No one in our department referred this case to the U.S. Attorney's Office. Our understanding is there was a complaint filed from an outside entity which prompted the FBI to investigate our internal investigation and review process were halted after we were notified that the FBI was taking control of this case. You lying sack of shit.
It's all bullshit. All of it.
It gets better.
But wait! There's more!
I know employees are upset about this conviction, and I too have concerns. No, you fucking don't, you lying sack of fuck. This jury verdict does not establish a new legal precedent, including the use of pepper spray, and currently LASD policy is not changing. The department will be conducting a thorough review of the case to identify any specific issues to determine if modifications to training are needed. As always, I have tremendous admiration for the exceptional work done by the men and women of this department to serve our communities in some of the most challenging situations. I reiterate, this often inside and outside the department with the media and the community events. Lilu, my commitment is to be the strongest advocate for increased staffing, compensation, training, and resources. Then why don't you back up your troops? Luna, I'm about to punch my fucking screen. I'm not gonna lie. Instead of the cuts seen in previous years, there you go, passing the buck off, right? Everyone else's fault, right? Prior sheriffs, oh, it was during his watch. In cuts seen in previous years, our department budgeted positions have increased, and we secured funding for critical needs, including our 38-year-old computer-aided dispatch system, CAD. Multiple academy classes, 297 new vehicles, 20 court. Why are you selling yourself right now, Luna? It's literally like it. You're backpedaling. Did you take a page out of Kamala's playbook and start trying to glorify yourself over this particular egregious situation? Okay, I'm sorry. I'll read on. 297 new vehicles, 20 court transportation buses, advanced Taser 10 equipment, and long overdue upgrades to our technology. Your work is essential, and it's essential that you receive the support you need today. You need. Today, as your sheriff, I can proudly state that LA County is safer.
Yo, shout out to Caesar, man.
You know, that's good. That's good. Yeah, you guys think LA County is safer? And we are positioned for a stronger future with the continuous improvements in our operations. Okay, more resources and positive relationships in the community. Again, thank you for your service. Sincerely, lying sack of shit. Okay, let's get into this. First and foremost, this whole concept with him saying right over here. Let's highlight this shit right here. No one in our department referred the case to U.S. attorneys. Okay, hold on one second. Washing your hands, right? Let's take a look at this. Oh, man. I'm going to start from the beginning here.
Good evening to everybody.
Good evening.
Thank you for coming. And then I think most of you are aware that there is a consent decree up in the Antelope Valley where Lancaster sits. So we notified our federal monitors to make sure they were aware of this incident and that the video.
Whoa. What was that? Who notified who? Let's go back.
So we notified our federal monitors to make sure they were aware of this incident and that the video existed out there.
There you
go. Our Civilian Oversight Commission, and then the Office of the Inspector General for the County of Los Angeles. And again, that's important because there's no taking shortcuts in any investigation. Not that we would do that anyways, but there are other agencies that will be looking at this along with us. We do take the use of force, any use of force that occurs within our agency very seriously. But again, we need to determine the actual facts of what happens. And it's going to be, and I'm going to make sure that it's a very objective review.
Okay, first of all, the deputy did his job. He did a fantastic job. He got 2 criminals off the street. Plain and simple. They shoplifted, they assaulted staff, and then they went after the deputies. It's that simple. That's it. It's done. It's simple.
The male involved in this arrest, I'm not naming him, just like I'm not naming the deputies, because we're still in the middle of this investigation. And out of respect, I don't want to name anybody at this point. I'm sure that'll come at a later time. But the male involved in this was arrested and cited out for resisting or delaying an officer, which is a 148 charge, petty theft or attempt petty theft, and then interfering with the business. So there's 3 different charges for the male involved in this. The female involved in this case complained of pain to her eyes after being pepper sprayed and sustained several abrasions on her arms. The female was treated at a local hospital for her injuries and arrested and cited out for assaulting an officer and battery after assaulting loss prevention personnel.
But all of a sudden, she's a victim, right? She's the victim. She takes out her phone, now she's a victim.
Inside
Bullshit.
The market. And for clarification on there, from what we gather, and again, it's early on the investigation, she was involved in some kind of a theft altercation with store employees and loss prevention personnel inside the market. I have asked Chief Dennis Neer, who's standing right beside me. He's the chief that oversees our Northern Patrol Division, along with Acting Assistant Sheriff Myron Johnson, who is currently in command of the department's patrol operations, to personally oversee this incident and to keep me apprised of all updates. And it's not only myself, but standing right next to me is Under Sheriff April Tardy, who oversees all of our administrative or internal affairs investigations. Myself, Under Sheriff Tardy, Acting Assistant Sheriff Johnson, and Chief Neer have collectively spoken with the variety of elected officials at the city, county, and state level, including County Supervisor Catherine Barger, State Assembly members Mike Gibson and Juan Carrillo, and Mayor Rex Paris. I have spoken to them. They're concerned about this incident, and I've talked to them over the last several days. I've also spoken to several community leaders, religious leaders in the Antelope Valley.
I like how all he's doing is talking about him washing his hands pretty much, right? How, oh, look, I've been talking to everybody about it, right? The feds, community leaders, religious leaders. What the fuck? Did you forget this briefing here, Luna? People keep receipts. People keep receipts. Especially me. Shit. You better believe I keep receipts, motherfucker.
And then as I conclude these statements, what we've directed our command staff to do is to organize a meeting with community stakeholders later on this week. Those phone calls have already started. We're still trying to identify a location and work with others to put this, but it will give the community an opportunity and our community
Gotta
leaders
talk to the
out there
stakeholders,
to bring
huh?
forward their concerns regarding this incident. And our full intent is to work with the community. And based on some of the community outcry that I've heard, there has been some challenges out in that area, and we want to make sure as we move forward collectively, not only as the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, working with our elected officials and our partners in the federal government who've been seeing this consent decree over the last 8 years, that that we are moving in the right direction.
But you had nothing to do with it, right?
Although I look at this incident and I got to tell you, it's a bummer to see it. I always think we can do better, but again, I don't know all the facts. And as we get them,
Story of your
we'll
life,
be
Luna.
sharing them with our community. So I thank you again very much for being here with us today. And now I stand ready to answer questions. And you give me a second. He raised his hand.
Relationship between the man and the woman that were taken into custody.
I don't know if you could hear that, but he asked, what's the relationship between the men and the women that were in custody?
We're still looking at that. Obviously, it looks to me, or from what I'm gathering, that they went there together. They were involved in the dispute inside the market together. Somebody identified him as husband and wife. We don't know that for sure, so we're still looking at that relationship.
Sheriff, you called it disturbing. Could you expand on that?
So this reporter is asking why Luna thinks the video is disturbing.
When you saw this videotape, what exactly was disturbing about it?
When you see a use of force of anybody in uniform, and with any community member, but obviously there is a woman in this video, and again, we don't know all the facts. So in order
Answer
to
the
stay
fucking question.
objective, I mean, no one likes to see that. I don't think anybody ever wants to see any force being applied in any manner, especially from somebody in uniform. But
Are you fucking kidding me? They're doing their job. What are they supposed to use? Harsh language?
when I go back and you're reviewing this, you try to put yourself in the position of the community member. And
You mean the criminal, the one that just shoplifted and assaulted staff? Luna, I can't, you know what? I can't, I'm about to punch my fucking screen. I can't stand this shit. I don't know. It's clear to see, Luna. It's clear to see. You parade yourself around with this, with this gravitas, false sense of decorum. Oh, I am a public servant. You are not a public servant. You're a party servant. And that party is yourself. How dare you? How dare you say all these things? How dare you? You're supposed to be the leader of the deputies. They look up to you. They're supposed to look up to you. I'm telling you this right now. You're nothing but a fucking joke now. We've caught you in your lies and the bullshit. It's done, Luna. It's done. It's done. But let's get into, real quick, the hypocrisy behind this. Because let's not forget what transpired not so long ago. Well, rather, a while ago. Trevor Kirk did his job, and he did a fantastic job. He got the bad guys. They were booked. Fucking bravo. But you're over there parading like, oh, it's so hard to see. It's so bad to see. Really? Do you guys remember this? This was uploaded by Mr. Joseph B. Treviso. Did I say that right? I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. Let's read the caption. Since Mr. Super Sheriff Luna wants to refer his deputies to the feds for excessive force, let's talk about his OIS in Long Beach, officer-involved shooting. In case you didn't know, Mr. East Los Angeles, more like Dolingo, himself caused the death of a 25-year-old because he panicked trying to say policía. Wow, someone lost their life because of your bullshit. Let's take a look at this.
It was an early weekday evening. Children were in the home. A young officer named Robert Luna was there to notify the family in Spanish that police were at the door. But Luna panicked. He shot through the screen door and then again. Other officers shot an additional 5 times through the door.
Did you see who did the shooting?
We don't know who they are. We were in the house. And
How many were there? How many were there?
I don't know. They came from the back. They were excited everywhere. They were shooting at us.
Robert Luna panicked, and a 25-year-old suspect was killed in front of his family.
In front of his family. Because you panicked. Someone died. Trevor Kirk went to answer a robbery call to which he did his job and took the bad guys in jail. No one died. In fact, no one actually really got hurt. What, little scrapes here and there? Bruised ego from the criminals? Here's the bottom line, Luna. Everyone knows now. You're a liar. You're a fraud. You're a charlatan. Resign.
The Prime Initiative.